Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining me. What we have here is a motorhome. Now, I'm thinking some of you already know that. That's because you've seen these sort of things, haven't you, on the road? Yes, you have, haven't you? That's because you're smart, you're wise, and there's no flies on you, indeed. And I know you're also thinking, this is a really bad intro to a video and you're about to scroll on, but please, please, don't go just yet. There is an important thing that we really need to discuss. This off-the-peg motorhome is pretty much like every other motorhome you've ever seen on the road. It's, well, it's slow, it's boring, got no individuality. It's pretty much a dishwasher on wheels, isn't it? It's driven by the sort of people who block up those country lanes and complain to you and me that we've put the wrong plastic bottle into the wrong recycling bin. You know the sort I'm talking about. You know the sort of people this is made for. Yes, that's right. It's made for old people. Right, kids? Yeah. Don't worry about that. That's not grey. That's just where I've had my hair cut and the light's picking up my blonde bits. Yeah. Now, you may be sitting there contemplating about whether you should buy a dishwasher on wheels like this, or maybe go out, buy a van and build your own camper van from scratch. Do everything just the way you want it. And then you will truly be a god amongst men. Well, if you watched any of my videos before, you'll know that that is exactly what I went and did. This is a Fiat Ducato Maxi, which is the 6.3 metres long version. Now, it's got a fixed double bed at the back, a shower and a toilet, a large kitchen area, a dining area, a seating area, plenty of storage and a huge garage in the back. It's got fancy electronics, air conditioning, mood lighting, a snazzy wrap and, well, expensive wheels as well. I've got a video on my YouTube channel of the full tour if you wish to take a look. I'll put a link below. I owned it for 3 years and I really enjoyed it, but I had to sell it. Why did I sell it? Well, in those 3 years that I owned it, I learned two very important things. The first is what I actually needed in a camper, in a self-built camper, but more importantly, what I didn't need. I want you to imagine something. Imagine you've just built your new camper and there you are, you're on holiday, it's lovely sunny weather and you're sitting down, relaxing, having a lovely drink and you're admiring all the hard work that you've done. Are you happy? Well, no, I guarantee you're not happy because I think that you're going to be doing exactly what I did, which is looking at all the nooks and crannies and looking at all the fine detail of the hard work that you've done. And you'll be thinking, nah, maybe I should have just changed that a little bit, or maybe I should have tweaked this, that could have been a bit higher or a bit lower. You won't be satisfied. It's gonna niggle at you. And that's what it did for me. For 3 years, I sat there and it just niggled me. Everything niggled me. It wasn't quite right. But what did I expect? You know, you're never gonna get it right first time. It's impossible. You see, what used to be big ticks in the positive boxes have now moved over to the negative boxes. I'll explain. The first issue I had, and it's not a massive one, but it was still nagging me, was length, to be honest with you. It's about length. Now, as we all know, all men always want a bit of extra length, don't they? Really? It's a serious video, folks. Come on, grow up. What are you like? Come on, let's get back to it. No, it's about the length of the camper. Now, the Maxi that I built was 6.3 metres long. And the problem I had is when I used to go to the supermarket, I used to really have to think about where I was going to park it because it wouldn't fit in a bay. It always stuck out. And I thought, maybe I need to go for a smaller one, and one that's inside 6 metres, which, funny enough, this one is just inside 6 metres. And there's a few women in the past have told me that size isn't everything, Errol. And you know what? On this occasion, I'm inclined to agree. The second issue that I had was, in fact, storage space. You may immediately think that there wasn't enough. Actually, it was quite the opposite. I had more than enough storage space. whenever I went away on holiday, there was always cupboards that weren't filled. And if they weren't filled, well, you know what we do, we just fill them with stuff that we don't need. And as for the rear garage on the Max seat, God, it was huge. I mean, it really was. And that's what I thought I wanted at the time. I wanted so much space that I could put bikes in there, a kayak and all that kind of nonsense. But when I came back from holiday and I emptied it, there was so much stuff that never got used. I just didn't need all that storage space. What a problem to have. Now, if you have a look at the storage space on this one, well, that's ridiculous. Let's have a look around the back and I'll just show you how little this one's got. On the back corner of this camper, we've got 3 lockers. That's your toilet, that's your gas bottle. Oh, and this is your external locker storage for all your other bits. I know. Let's have a look. Oh, if you can get it open, hold on. There we go. Ta-da! Yes, very small. We've got 2 shelves and this bit in the bottom. I know there's a bit more storage in the back of this and also enough room for 2 gas bottles. So you could just take 1 gas bottle and put more in there. But let's be honest, not a lot of storage. So it does restrict what you're going to carry. Do I want this? Is this the kind of storage I want? The third issue that I had with that Fiat Ducato camper was the actual layout that I had made. Now, I had put a big kitchen in with lots and lots of cupboards in there as well because I really wanted, well, cooking to be a major feature of my holidays because I really enjoy it. And I thought that was the correct way to go. But what I actually discovered is that one of my best pastimes is doing this. I used to open the side door and just lay there on my sofa and watch the world go by. And that's what I really enjoyed. So the problem with having a big kitchen area was there was a compromise, which meant my lounge area was a lot smaller. I thought for the next build, I need to reverse that. And the final issue, issue number 4, yes, I know lots of issues, but that's me, was about the fact that it was 3 years old. It still had low mileage, but being 3 years old and I could just see all my work that I'd done degrading. It was slowly but surely getting worse. And I just wanted to change, you know. I thought, why not build another one and do it right this time and get it just the way I want it. But actually, that is when all the problems began. I bought my Fiat Ducato in 2019 and it had 20,000 miles on the clock, and I bought it from a van dealer. It cost me £16,000 at the time. Now you may be thinking, £16,000, that's the deal of the century. But you'll be wrong. You see, that was the going rate at the time. Spring forward 5 years, the world's gone bonkers.
Bonkers, bonkers, bonkers.
COVID, Brexit, cost of living, and a change in habits of the way we buy our products these days. All these things combined with our good old friend greed, they've just pushed up the price of everything. Cars, second-hand vans, they've just gone absolutely crazy, all through the roof. I have struggled to try and find a second-hand van, which is 2-3 years old, with what I would consider to be reasonable mileage at a reasonable price. They don't exist. So the next question was, what if I go and buy a brand new van? Maybe that will solve the problem. So I took a trip down to my local van dealer and I had a look at the Peugeot Boxer van, medium wheelbase. And the reason why I chose that is because that's the same as my works van. And I thought I'd put a pop top on it. I thought that'd be a great idea. I sleep up top and I've got lounge, kitchen, toilet, bathroom, just the same as the Ducato, but maybe slightly different layout, a little bit. But that was the plan. Now, my medium wheelbase Boxer cost me 5 years ago, £20,000 on the road. And I was happy with that price. That seemed absolutely fine at the time. Spring forward, again, as I said, 5 years, the same van, and I've got to be very specific here, it is the same van. They haven't even updated the stereo. Nothing has changed. On the road, the price is now £33,000.
Bonkers.
Yes. You heard me correctly, 33,000. It's gone up £13,000 in 5 years. Wow. You know, that just put another spanner in the works for me. See, the spanner is this. I can either buy brand new or buy second hand, and then I've got to consider all the money it cost me when I built that Fiat Ducato, which was £21,000. Now, all right, for transparency, I didn't have to buy the fancy wheels or that fancy wrap and all the aircon and all the fancy electronics. Yes, I could bring that price of the materials down, but let's not forget, material prices, they've all gone up as well, haven't they? So where did that leave me? Well, if I do a self-build, I'm looking at around 50 to 55,000 if I want to do it the way I want to do it. And let's not forget about all the time that I spent actually building that van. It took me 12 months from start to finish. That was evenings, weekends. I took some block time out as well just to try and get ahead on it. And it wasn't all wonderful fun and games. There were some really, really low points. I was quite upset with the whole thing and wish I'd never started it. Don't get me wrong, I loved it at the end, but when I sit at home and I think about having to go through all that again, that's really tough. I don't know if I want to do that. So with all my issues, all of those costs, what was I going to do? What was my choice going to be? Well, I think you already know what it is. Yeah, I've gone and bought a dishwasher on wheels and that's the one. And I got to say, I'm not disappointed with my choice. This is actually blooming marvellous. I'm going to do a full walk around video after this one with this because I think you're going to be amazed at what this has inside it and what it can do. I know I was kind of jostling about with the storage earlier, how small it is, but it's got loads inside. And it's less than 6 meters. Yes, it cost me a lot more money. I paid 60,000 for this. I never thought I'd ever spend that kind of money on a vehicle or a camper van, but there is one other good thing about this though, it's about the resale. If I built my own DIY one, and I know this from experience, trying to sell it is that little bit much more difficult. There's no guarantees, they don't know, do they? With this is a Swift Champagne. It sells itself. Well, that's about it, I reckon. I hope this has helped you, made your decision whether you buy one or you get one off the peg. I would say, you know, build your own because it's a wonderful experience. But this day and age, God, it's expensive. Anyway, thanks for watching. You take care and I'll see you in the next one. Going this way. Oh, and you know that thing I said about, you know, old people driving these and so forth and blocking up the roads? I was only joking, honestly.